Hello and welcome to Scratch Golf Academy. I'm Anthony Vessecchia, Titleist Performance Certified Golf Fitness Instructor. Today I want to take you through a couple drills that I like to do in the morning when I wake up, and then also what I like to do before I have a round of golf. So if it's in the afternoon, I may do this when I'm at home before I go, or if I'm leaving the gym and I'm headed out for a quick round of golf. I'll drop down and spend about 10 minutes doing what I'm going to do for you today. Again, it's just a warm-up before I get to the range and do an actual dynamic warm-up. Again, first thing in the morning, sometimes also before bed, and definitely before I jump in the car to get to the course. Okay, welcome back. Before I get started, please hit the like button, toss out any comments or questions that you may have. I am always available to answer those, and subscribe. Definitely subscribe. First things first, get yourself a 36-inch foam roller. If you don't have one of these, please, you can go on Amazon, you can go anywhere, you can go to Marshall's, you can go to anywhere. I mean, Walmart, Target, doesn't matter. They almost have these everywhere. 36 inches though. Don't get the little short ones because you won't be able to perform most of the things that I like to do in past videos and what we're going to do today. First thing first, set it down, rear end on one end, head on the other. So we're going to go through a series of foam roller drills. And what I like about these is it helps get some more stretch in your thoracic spine, the area between your shoulder blades. Basically starting at the base of your shoulder blades and heading up to the base of your neck. From this position, I like to do a chest stretch or T stretch, and I just drop my arms out like a T. You'll feel the stretch across your chest, and you will probably, if you're somebody that's very rounded, you may need a pillow for this, but ideally over time, the more you do this, you won't need a pillow for your head. You'll be able to lay your head flat on here. Arms out like a T, chest stretch. I do about 30 seconds here. All the while that I'm on this foam roller, I am trying to push my lower back into the foam roller below me. So I'm trying to keep a posterior tilt or tilt my pelvis toward my chin so that I can try to get my back as straight as possible. The whole point is I'm trying to push my back into positions that it wasn't in while I was sleeping or while I was sitting at a desk or standing and training all day. After I do this chest stretch, I'm going to do 30 seconds here and a lat stretch. Sometimes I will amplify this by holding weight in my hands so that my arms will get closer to the ground. Once you do this stretch, you'll really feel that your lower back is trying to arch a little bit. So just stay in here, try to force your lower back down. Hold this position. I'm very tight here. You can see my hands aren't even close to the floor. I also don't want to see you bend your elbows to get to the floor. Keep your elbows nice and straight because the important part is we're trying to stretch the lat muscle here, and that attaches to this part of the arm, not all the way up here. So when you do this, it doesn't do anything more with the stretch for your lat. So 30 seconds. Once I finish the 30 seconds there, then I will bring my elbows right here to my rib cage with my hands pointed straight up in the air. And I'm going to now rotate to the floor for an external rotation of my shoulders. I will do 15 to 20 of these. After I do my 15 to 20, which I'm not going to take you through them all right here, then I will move to what is a 90-90 shoulder rotation. So I'm going to make sure that I keep 90 degrees here at all times and 90 degrees in this joint at all times. And I'm going to rotate to the floor. I will see many people do this one and they will bring their hands towards their head and they're not really even rotating at all. Or I'll see them try to just move their arms here. This part of your arm is not going to move. It's like you have a rod stuck through your shoulder right out to your elbow, and it can't move down, and it can't move up, and it can't move this way. It's just going to stay in that position. You're only rotating your forearms to the floor and back up. Some people like to turn their thumbs out and try to get their thumbs to touch. That's fine, but you are not going to be going this way, this way, this way. Don't move that at all. Only the forearms are moving. 15 to 20 of those on the external rotation of that. That is called the shoulder 90-90, obviously because 90 degrees and 90 degrees. Keep that 90 degrees at all times. All right. After I do that, a lot of times I will go back into that chest stretch one more time and I will go back into that lat stretch just to finalize it. After I've done those, I'm now going to turn the foam roller perpendicular to my spine. And this you may get a couple pops on, but I'm going to roll the area between my shoulder blades. So I'm going to put my hands behind my neck and I'm going to drive my elbows towards the wall above my head. And I'm going to just roll that area between my shoulder blades. Just going to go up till I hit my hands on the foam roller and then I'm going to roll to about halfway down my back. After I've done 15 of those, I usually drop my rear end and try to push my lower back into the floor, and then I'll just do what I call elbow pushes towards the ceiling above me, and you'll feel your thoracic spine trying to extend. I will do about 10 of those. After I've done 10 of those, I will push the foam roller out of the way. Now you can do a lot of these on your bed as soon as you wake up in the morning too. You can just have the foam roller by your bed, bring it up on the bed, stay on the bed for every drill except for the last one today. This one is going to be open book, so I'm going to stack my knees on top of each other. I'm going to bring my knees up to a 90-degree bend here, and I am going to rotate open. Okay, so now I'm getting rotation in that thoracic spine after I just did a lot of extension and stretching through my lats. Now I'm trying to get rotation going. I will do 10 on this side. I will then flip over and do 10 on the other. I'm gonna try to watch my microphone here. So as I'm doing this, you'll notice, as a lot of people, I'll see them doing this with their arms. I'm not getting any rotation through my spine doing that. That is not the object of this. The object is to see how much you can move this shoulder forward, how much you can get the shoulder to go towards the floor. So if you watch, the difference is I'm trying to really open up my chest and get my shoulder blade down to the floor and then reach out as far as I can in front of me here with a big, big turn and then rotate all the way back. The point is rotation in the spine. I couldn't care less where your arm is going. This is doing absolutely nothing. It's a waste of your time. Unless you're just trying to stretch your shoulder and your anterior deltoid and maybe your chest, that's fine. But the goal here, thoracic spine. We do 10 of those. Once you finish 10 of those, I will turn over and I will give myself a couple press-ups. And it's not that I'm going to do a bunch, but I may do just about 5 of them. Some people like to hold that too as I do it. Now, if you want to get a little more press in your thoracic spine, you move your hands up more towards your eyes and press, and you'll feel it more between the shoulder blades. If you're really down low here, you'll feel it more in your lower back. So it depends on what you're trying to go for. Personally, I want the shoulder blade area in between my shoulder blades, thoracic spine, so I'm going to go out a little further up towards my face and do my 5 presses there. After I've done that, I am now going to go into my hips. So I'm going to turn over, spread my feet out about that far apart. This part doesn't matter much. I'm just trying to get internal and external rotation. So I'm watching how far my knees go. We're not working ankles here. I just want to see what my knees do. So I'm trying to get my knees to go in and out, okay? Because I really want to feel it in my hips. I will do about 15 of these. After I do 15 of those, I'll bring my heels back. So I'm in a 90-degree bend here, and I will do about 16 hip drops, sometimes 12, depends on how much I hit the snooze button in the morning. So I'll do 15 to 16 of these. Said 15, that would be uneven. And if you're OCD like me, you don't want to do that. All right, once I do the hip drops, then I'll move into hip 90-90s. So now I'm going to go all the way down. I'm going to put my sternum on my knee. And then I'm going to rotate to the other side. I like to go like this so that I'm really working through the hip joint. If you don't have the flexibility to do that, put your hands behind you and roll. That's fine too. But I'll see a lot of people, they'll go into this position, they'll straighten this leg, they'll lift their heels up to get there. Now you're not working your hips through that range of motion. You want to dig your heels in and leave them where they're at the entire time you're doing this. It's called 90-90s because I have a bunch of 90-degree angles, 90 degrees, 90 degrees, 90 degrees. If I'm straightening my leg, I'm not getting the same rotation through this hip anymore. It's not dropping down into that bigger internal rotation back here. Okay, so again, 16 of these as well. That's just the number I like. If you want to do 20, do 20. After I do those, now I will drop, because I want to get a little stretch on the front, I'll just go into this quad stretch on my side lying, and I will pull. The more I pull my knee back behind me, the more I'm going to stretch up here, more in my psoas major, a little bit more in my rectus femoris, and a little bit less in the, well, I'll still feel it in my vastus and medialis, but I still, if I pull back, I just get more in the hip. But the more I pull to my rear end, the more I'm going to feel it more lower. So I'll do 20, 30 seconds on one leg. I'll flip over, do the same on the other. And then for my last one, once I've gotten off the bed or off the floor, I call this a volleyball squat. It's just basically lateral lunges. But you see volleyball players in this position when they're waiting for the ball to be served or back hit to their side of the net. And from here, I just rock back and forth about 20 times. The reason I want to do this, I get a good stretch on my inner thighs, my groin area, my adductors, and I just go back and forth, like I said, for 20 And that's how I start my day, or that's how I start before I jump in the car to get to the course. And then once I get there, I do a dynamic warm-up. And stay tuned, because I'm going to take you guys through that next Thursday, the dynamic warm-up. I'll be out on the range with the club and show you a quick little warm-up process that I like to do when I'm out there to help prevent injury when I play.